Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over the visual diary that I filled in while on my exchange in Ireland. I did my exchange a year ago, which feels insane. I went there in January of 2025 and I was there until May. I study in Dublin at National College of Art and Design. You may know that I'm a fine art student here back home, but there I was in the illustration program. I just wanted to try something different. I had an absolute blast. I met so many new amazing people. I also met my boyfriend there. I have a lot of opinions about the city itself. I really did not like Dublin. I was even saying that I'm the #1 Dublin hater, and I also have some interesting experiences with my host family. So let's just get cracking with it. I wanted a sketchbook that didn't have like pure white pages, so I could use a white pencil. I don't think I actually ended up using it. I had a Polaroid, or have a Polaroid, of my friends that we took during New Year's for my like going away party. I just needed to like quickly fill this in because I feel such pressure about the first spread of a sketchbook. So this is just what I ended up doing with the first spread. This was before I left. I have tried to put dates on some of these, but I'm pretty forgetful. Yeah, this was on the 5th of January and I left on the 13th. We're also gonna see a nice mix of English and Finnish writing. Here's my airport outfit with all my luggage. I'm very scared of flying. Here, this image is how I look on the plane, and it just says that the guy sitting next to me probably thought I was fucking insane. He was sitting next to the window and I was trying to look out the window, so I think he thought that I was looking at him like this. And of course I flew with Finnair, so we got some blueberry juice. And this luggage I customized. Maybe I can flash a little picture here, but I did it with acrylic markers and it turned out pretty cute. We have the campus tour, so first day on campus. And I'll be honest, the first day in Dublin, waking up at my host family's house was, I was absolutely mortified. I was just thinking, what the hell have I gotten myself into? It was super cold. I didn't really have any food there, even though they said that I could have their food for the first morning, but it was so cold and I had arrived pretty late, so I hadn't really seen the surroundings. Yeah, I was just like kind of crying the first morning, but I got going really quick and then it was okay. But we had the campus tour, so this was a view from one of the buildings. I was just shamelessly drawing some people during the orientation. I like to collect little like random stuff, so this was just a bus fare. Some stuff that I drew on the bus. I think the public transport in Dublin is horrid. It's so horrible. It's never on time. I was also using this as kind of a diary, so I might like black out some spots if I feel like it's maybe a little bit too personal. I have my little reflection page that I did while being in Dublin already for a little bit. I was just feeling like quite overwhelmed. And it was so cold in my host family's house that this is like the real depiction of what I looked like there. As it says, so many thoughts. I miss sauna. Just being in a new environment makes you think about like your own routines and how you usually do things. Time is going really slow, but really fast at the same time. And I'm very bad at packing. I feel like this thought should have been underlined. Even coming from Finland, I feel like I still didn't have enough warm clothes. For some reason, I really underestimated the Irish weather. Me and one of the other exchange students did a little tour of the Dublin castle, so these are just little knickknacks from there. The actual tour was super interesting and we got some really great insight about the architecture and the history of Dublin and Ireland in general. So that was very enjoyable. Maybe give you a little close-up of the statue. Here is my room, and there's a random piece of tape here for some reason. It's been a little while since I went over this myself, but you can see what my room looks like. I didn't have a work desk in my room. There was a separate room downstairs that me and the other exchange student could use. I preferred to go out and do my stuff rather than stay in the house. Generally, they were really nice people, but just the house itself I did not find super cozy. I just didn't really want to spend time there, but you can see here what my room looked like. This was the only storage I had, so I had all of my stuff here and on my nightstand. Not a lot. This was the little heater that was the only reason for my survival. But we were not allowed to use these a lot. I understand that electricity is really expensive, but we were also paying rent, you know. I'm not used to houses having such bad insulation. And here we have a zoo day. Again, just I don't know why I saved all these receipts. Yeah, I guess this was the 1st of February. This was a super fun day. I mean, us exchange students hung out quite a lot together, but this was one of those times when we really got the chance to maybe chat a little bit more because the group wasn't as huge. It was super fun. We were blown away by the giraffes and everything. We were like, there's no way that's a real animal. This was when we went to Hoth. I think I drew this during the train ride, to there and back. The weather was so bad, but here's just a couple of my friends. Yeah, some people tried shellfish, but I was way too much of a pussy to try that, and their faces once they got that slimy thing down their throats made me be very happy with my decision to not try it. This is our Swords Castle day trip, the 16th of February. I was not super good at drawing in this, definitely not daily, not even weekly. I might black this out because this is a bit personal, but I'm basically just reflecting on how the trip has went and kind of lamenting about my living situation, wondering if I should just stick it out there, which I did. I did not even try to find another place. I was just, rental market here is so awful that I'm just gonna stick with it. Here's another little illustration that I did of the Swords Castle. It was a lot smaller than we thought, but it was really nice. We were the only people there, so we got the whole premises to ourselves. We got Kilkenny day trip in March. Here I got pissed off because I was trying to draw my friend's face and it just wouldn't work out. So fun, but so tired. Maybe I can show some pictures that my friends took during the day, so you can really get the vibe of how tired I actually was. I was taking flyers from everywhere so I could cut out the pictures and glue them in. We did every single castle tour possible, but it was super interesting. I feel like these are pretty ass, but every time that I noticed myself not drawing in the journal, I would get really guilty and I would just try to do anything. This was in Phoenix Park, and if I remember correctly, this day was actually quite warm, so it was really nice. We jumped from March. There was a month when I didn't fill anything in, and definitely panicking about that. This was another park where we were at, St. Anne's Park and the North Pole Island. This was such a fun day. We had a really nice group of people, and here are some little illustrations that my friends drew. This is St. Stephen's Park. We actually spent quite a lot of time here. It was really nice, but it was super strange that in Dublin's parks you were not allowed to sit on the grass. People were still doing it, but we saw multiple times people being told to get off the grass, which feels kind of strange. What's the point of the park then? If you can only sit on the benches and there's not that many of them, are you just supposed to sit on the dirt road? So this is also in April. I got sick for the first time during the whole exchange, and I was real shit about it. I only had a few weeks left of the exchange, so I was super pressed about getting sick, especially because I was really afraid that I would get a sinus infection, because I get those pretty easy. I'm basically just lamenting that I can't believe that the exchange is almost over. I'm gonna miss this time so much, and I basically already do now. This was our road trip. We went from Dublin to Cork and then to Galway. So we drove through the Wicklow Mountains as well. It was super foggy. So we doubled back around. We were just supposed to drive like this, but I don't know if we went like this or something, just to see the mountains again. And this was so fun. Here's our ride. Crispy and Lee. I got scammed immediately. The weather was really bad. I didn't have an umbrella. I paid €12 for an umbrella. I'm falling for every single tourist trap there is. Here was our crew. So it was me, this girl who was living with the same host family as me, 2 other Finnish exchange students. She was our driver. Shout out. We saw the Cliffs of Moher, which was amazing. We had such good weather for that day. This whole road trip was one of the most fun trips I've ever done. Literally laughed until my stomach was cramping. We had the most chaotic card game in this really cool Airbnb that we rented. I got a tattoo while there. Basically all of us got some sort of tattoo, so this is just like a business card of the girlie who did my tattoo. I got like this sort of cherry thing on my ass. These are just from the final project that we had to do at school. I'm gonna be honest, I did not care about this project in the slightest. It had to do with Ireland's voting, like the fact that especially young people are not voting. Yeah, it's not the most interesting subject, and especially me not being Irish, it was a bit hard to relate to. Yeah, I think I made this page after like our final presentations, and I got attacked by a fucking seagull. I was holding an ice cream. The seagulls in Dublin are vicious and they're huge. We were in the park and I asked if anyone wanted to draw anything, and lovely now partner did this, his little signature giraffe. And this was just a random picture that I took from the exhibition of the fine arts student, which was super cool. We have the Malahide day trip. This was my last day trip before I went home. Well, I actually went to visit my friend in Germany first, but it says right here, the whole day was amazing, but so melancholic. It really did feel like an ending already. The weather was so beautiful. We saw so many cute butterflies, and the whole place that we went to was so gorgeous. Some Women's Day projects that we did in the illustration class. This was mine. I used my sister as reference, and these were Riso printed, which was new to me. And I just took a couple other cards that I really liked. These are a bit out of order because, as you could see, I had like a month-long gap when I didn't fill in anything, but we did a day trip to Northern Ireland. Woke up at the ass crack of dawn to catch the train. It was worth it, for sure, but we were so tired at the end of the day. We did one of those very touristy bus tours that took us all over Northern Ireland, but it was amazing. We even saw dolphins, dark hedges, the Giant's Causeway. Such a great day. And here we have the last spread that I did. I made this on the airplane on my way to Germany to see my friend. I guess maybe this one I could translate. So here we are, and the exchange is officially over. What the hell? I'm sitting on the plane and I don't know if I should laugh or cry. I feel so many different emotions that I'm not sure if I feel anything at all. I'm so grateful for this whole experience and for everyone I met and how I got to know myself in a new way. I'm not even sure how to describe this. Praying for future me. Please, please remember this feeling and what we learned. I already kind of talked about it at the beginning of the sketchbook, about how being so far removed from all of your routines and all the people who are present in your everyday life really makes you think about just your routines, the way you think about things, and it makes you realize that life can be a different way. Of course, I've traveled before. I am aware of other people existing outside of my bubble, but to have a completely different life away from home, away from everyone I knew for 5 months was so refreshing. And then this was Berlin. So like I said, I went to Germany to visit my friend who was also doing an exchange there. We did a lot, and I basically put it all in this spread here. We also had a blast, did some museums, did some other stuff. So that is my last page. As you can see, I lied a little bit because there is a couple here still left, but that's basically it. So that was my exchange in a nutshell. Of course, a lot happens in 5 months. I'm just so grateful to have had that experience, and for all the people that I met, just for all the stuff that I had the chance to do. And it's so bittersweet to know that that experience will never happen again, but it's also what makes it so special. So if you are thinking about going on an exchange, please do it if you just have the chance. It's so life-changing and you're gonna make so many amazing memories. If you have any questions about my exchange, please leave them below. I will answer everything as usual. If you want to see my other more polished sketchbook tour, I can leave a link here and also at the end of the video. So please go and check that out if you want to see more like a actual fine art focused sketchbook. Hopefully I will see you guys in my next video.